Okay, so I'm still learning the features of my phone, how to record. I wish there was a way once I go live on my phone, you can flip it around. But this picture you see here is a picture of Stacy Abrams. She was supposed to be Joe Biden's running mate in becoming president of the United States. And I have nothing against her other than she's a socialist. And I don't hate her because of her who she is or whatever, but I am just not a person for socialism. And let me see my giant scarf in the corner here, but until the salon's open and until I get paid one or the other, then you'll see me eventually with the new hairdo. But anyhow, so other y'all have seen this infamous picture of her as she claims to be the minority leader and that she is qualified and ready, especially after the recent shooting of the young man, Ahmad. She's saying I'm ready and qualified and ready to look into this case or you know promote uh, the victim mentality of blacks. That whole thing. So, with that being done and said, as I look at this picture, I'm like, how much pandering are they gonna do to women and and black people? How many? I mean, how much further are they going to have to go to keep pandering to blacks for votes? And like I said, I don't hate this woman. If I saw her, I'll say hi and keep it moving. But at the same time, I am not for her policies. This lady is basically for socialism. And people are like, oh, she's a beautiful black woman. And I'm like, first of all, oh great, now my battery's dying on my computer. First of all, we gotta stop with this black woman thing as a leader. Because the last time I checked, I don't base my choice of candidates off of gender and race. Number one, the people that are of my gender and race are the one that are leaders in our community are usually the ones that's screwing us over in the black communities. So that's out. Number two, I think it's very sexist and very racist to base my vote off of if you're black or female or whatever. To me, that's racist and sexist. I don't choose somebody based off of their gender or sex or off of their skin color because the skin color and your gender is not going to keep me out of poverty. It's not going to keep me running a business. It's not going to keep me free. But the way I vote will. And I'm getting really leery, but it's like they use her to pander to black voters and pander to women. And another thing is, I'm not bashing her because of her weight, but I'm just saying, like she said, she's the voice for socialism. I'm like, sweetheart, if you were to go to an actual socialist country where the people there are emaciated, they're poor and riddled with disease, they have horrible health care because the government controls everything, and the only people that are quote unquote fat in a socialist country is the oligarchy that has run your country into the ground. They're the ones getting fat off your unpaid and sometimes cheap and sometimes unpaid labor. They're taking all your money through extremely high taxes, and you get nothing in return while they continuously get fat and control everything. So, like I said, they say she is the representative of those that are poor and down and out. A lot of people that are poor and struggling, the last thing they are big. I'm just saying. And so it's just like the irony in, what the Democrats choose in their candidates. And then now we have Pelosi saying, oh, well, Donald Trump is morbidly obese. He is not obese. This man is I didn't even know he was that tall. This man is over 6 feet tall and wears a size 12 shoe. And for someone his age, Donald Trump looked pretty darn good. He is the first president I've ever seen in my lifetime that actually looked like he reversed in his age. And man, like it has been said so many times, you have a 70-something-year-old man that outruns people my age in the White House. They have a hard time keeping up with him. And I believe that's God's anointing on him to enable him to do the work that God has called for him to do as a president. But yet, you have these people criticizing Trump and seeing and deflecting their own deficiencies onto him. And I'm like, you people are really just crazy. He's like, oh, Donald, Pelosi saying, and she looks like a crazy grease ball. She's like, oh, well, Donald Trump is morbidly obese. Yeah, you guys are morbidly corrupt. Obese, yeah, you can lose weight and get in the gym and eat the right things and work out and maintain your health like you should. But it sure take a lot more work to end the corruption that you guys have put in the into Congress and to politicians all around. So, yeah, I mean, for them to criticize Trump for him being, Trump is not obese, and actually he has lost weight down through the years he's been in the White House. He looks a lot better than he was when he first got in there, and I guess from all the stress and the whatever, that can get to anybody. But I just wanted to show that picture of Stacey Abrams and how ironic it is, they're using her as this icon to pander to minorities when I'm like, guys, just stop. Just stop. Just stop it. Like, cut it out. Like, you're not fooling anybody. You're not. Like, stop it. And now I just recently saw where now they have Joe Biden has bumped her to the curb to pick Amy Klobuchar, I believe is from a Democrat from South Carolina. And I'm like, first of all, I never even heard of Amy Klobuchar. I didn't even know who she was until she decided to run in South Carolina. And I know some of my friends that are conservatives down there were saying who she was. I'm like, I never heard of her. The only thing I hear out of South Carolina is Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott. And Lindsey Graham, he turned out to be a darn rhino. And that man has been in the Senate since I was in freaking middle school. So, but anyhow, I didn't know who Amy Klobuchar was. I hope I said her name correctly. But I was like, they now bumped Stacey Abrams out of the race, and I wonder for what particular reason, you know. And that's what Democrats will do. They'll have a lot of black or other minorities on their panel. All of a sudden, they start disappearing to make it look like, oh, well, the blacks didn't make it. See, he was trying to tell y'all something, that the blacks won't make it without us white liberals. They stage this crap all the time, every election year, every general presidential election, and every off-season election. They do this all the time. It's so stupid. And I'm like, you guys just have completely lost, because a lot of blacks that I know, and I see a lot of friends requests popping up on Facebook, more and more. I got more black Trump supporters than anybody else on my page. I didn't even know that they were all there, because, you only know your area, and there is a silent majority that's on the rise. And I'm like, the Democrats in power have completely lost their minds. They have completely lost their senses, everything. They have completely lost their voter base, and they will stop at nothing to try to get the blacks back. I mean, they try to do it with the gays. They try to do it with the moderate whites, and they have moved to the right. I have seen so many people move to the right, and liberals are fine. It's just the leftists that's the problem. And I'm like, are you guys for real? Like, seriously? I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody looks rough at one time or another, and many women like me, which I'm wearing a scarf all the time, the iconic scarf, which I'm tired of because there's no salon open yet, and I could have done my hair myself and gotten a wig. I got a wig, but I need to get the other pieces to put on to keep the wig on. So I'm still waiting to get paid, So whichever one happens first, either salon opens or I get paid. Something got to give. So a lot of women, I understand, are looking a bit rough right now. We have outgrown pedicures, manicures. The hair looks a little rough. I get it. So there's nothing I can really do at this time other than just maintain what I got. But my thing is, that's excusable during this lockdown. But they pick somebody and they pick, people like Stacey Abrams. And I'm like, first of all, this woman, there's no way this woman takes care of herself because she's really, really big. And I'm like, a lot of people are starting to see that if you don't take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, everything else above, they have less respect for you. And I tell you what, Donald Trump, the reason a lot of people respect him because why? He takes care of himself. You can see he looks really good for someone his age. You can tell he's more fit. He lost some weight. He looks good for someone his age. And for him to be 6'3" and to be that size and not be overweight that's a blessing. So I know a lot of people that are really big and tall and they're as fat as that. So I don't see anywhere how Donald Trump is fat in any way, shape, or form. How? Y'all just mad because that man got better physical health than half of y'all, and he about 3 times your age. I mean, I keep forgetting that this man is what now, 72, 73 years old, and can outrun probably people my age at 35. Please, this man's still going strong, and for somebody at 33, for 73, he's going strong. But like I said, these Democrats, you look at them, they look sick, they look crazy, and Joe Biden look like he's about to fall over any minute. That man needs to be out of the race because he is not fit for running for any form of office, especially not to be the U.S. president. And they screen and check and did Donald Trump like this man who has a sharp mind, a very keen businessman, and then you want to take Joe Biden, who's probably, what? I don't think, is he the same age as Trump? I don't know. But Joe Biden he's just old and senile and just creepy. And you're going to put that in the White House? You guys got to be out your mind for doing that. I refuse to accept that. And then the man, he's racist. Like, did y'all forget or do y'all even know about the 1994 crime bill? I didn't know about that until, I don't know forgot who Joe Biden was until came on the scene with Obama. And I was like, that's the Joe Biden? I said, oh no. I said, he's the one who contributed to mass incarceration of black people in the 90s. It seemed like when the Clintons were in office when I was a kid, it seemed like countless black Americans were getting thrown in jail just for this 3 strikes and you're out crap. Oh, 3 strikes and you're in the slammer. With no form of rehab or no form of changing your life trajectory or anything. Just 3 in jail with no remorse, with no form of correction when you got out, or no form of a second step, something. It was like the most unforgiving thing they could have put into law. You're condemning people because they screwed up in their life and they committed a crime. Okay, yes, they are to serve the time, but give them a second chance to turn their life around, you know? So, yeah, I was like, like, Democrats, just stop, because you guys are really looking like a hot mess right now. And I'm sorry, if you got that alcoholic-looking Nancy Pelosi up there, you can tell that lady's on something. I guess the stress of being in Congress longer than God knows what. This lady has probably been in Congress since my parents were in high school, and this is the mid-1970s. So I guess all the stress has gotten to her. Higher tenure or term limits should have been enforced in these congressional seats. I would say a maximum of 12 years, because I know Congress, that's like every 6 years, and then the Senate, I believe, is every 4. I gotta reread that, but still, I would say the maximum amount of years you should spend in Congress, I think, is 12 years, and then you get out. Because you have these lifelong career politicians, it should not be. They are public servants. They are to serve the public, and now they have become self-serving and lovers of themselves, very vain, very selfish. And I'm like, how would you like it if you had to live for 11, 12 weeks off of a $1,200 stimulus check? Try living off of that for 12 weeks and see how well you fare. Let's reduce their pay to $1,200 for 12 weeks and see how that works out for you. Y'all couldn't even survive off of that. That's less than $100 a week. And some people survive, some people do well. But I tell you one thing, if you got a whole family and you're trying to live off of that for 12 weeks because you want to shut down the state and everything so people can't work, and you got all these people back on welfare and back on unemployment, why? We don't want to depend on the government. You guys stink. These state governments have too much power. They need to have their power greatly reduced, because they're trying to undo the Constitution and undo the federal government and undo the powers that be coming down from the White House, and that's in the Constitution. And it's time we put a stop to it. These states are crazy, man. And people say, oh, well, Donald Trump. I said Donald Trump shut down. They might have shut down the federal, like things at the federal level, but that had nothing to do with the state governors shutting down things at the state level. That was not authorized, and a lot of these governors are in violation of the constitutional rights. Your the freedom of assembly, the freedom to petition, the freedom of religion, the freedom. They have blatantly violated the First Amendment, and then they're trying to say, "Oh, we're gonna take away your guns." And okay, you're violating the Second Amendment, Third Amendment, and so on, so forth, and so on. And then now you got people violating the search warrants rights by you having people coming being seized by police because they didn't wear a mask. And I'm like, it's up to me to wear a mask if I want to or not. I have the right to. Nobody has the right to make me wear one, and I have no right to make someone take it off. It's your body. You do what you want. Unless you're pregnant with a child, you can do whatever you want with yourself. But me, I choose to. Hey, I have a right to take a risk. Walk outside, no mask, whatever. And you can't take that right away from me. So yeah, it's these states that have shut down your rights. It's not Trump and the federal government. Actually, the federal government is trying to reverse a lot of these laws that these state governments put into place. And you notice, you see how like a lot of my friends, like in Florida and Georgia, South Carolina, I'm like, yeah, you guys are Republican states, man. Of course you're going to be open because you have a Republican governor. Like, duh. Texas is open. Parts of even parts of California open in certain parts, not the whole state, but like I think one section did open. And I'm like, yeah, you guys have Republican governors. You see how much lower your quote unquote coronavirus deaths are? They're probably more accurate than ours. Like our state, Pennsylvania, we have a Democratic governor. New York, right above us, has a Democratic governor, and both of them are absolutely horrible. Cuomo was a Nazi, and Governor Wolf isn't as bad, but he's just as incompetent. So I'm like, I noticed like in the maps, look at the U.S. maps, the highest quote unquote death tolls is all in the blue states, but the red states are either open or their tolls are significantly dropping all of a sudden. I'm like, yeah, you guys think we're stupid, but we're not. But anyway, I'm signing off. But I just had to get that out there about Stacy Abrams and stuff. Like guys, just stop. Like, just let's cut it out. You're not doing yourself or us any good. Just stop. Just cut it out. We need to end the Chinese virus and be done. Enough is enough. Alright, I'm out. Thank you for watching, and I'll chat with you soon.